Good morning. Thanks for starting your weekend with us. New challenges in two of the criminal cases against former President Trump.
A major delay in one trial and the lead prosecutor forced to drop out in another. It's March 16th. This is Today.
Live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
Welcome to Today, and thanks so much for waking up with us on this Saturday morning. Since you're here, I take it you too did not win the Mega Millions, but there's still time for you. It
happens to be true, but I was going to say at some point they're going to change the name of these things to Mega Billions, right? The money just keeps growing and growing. Hopefully somebody gets to celebrate a big payday pretty soon.
Yes, for sure. We have a lot to get to this morning, including what will hopefully be a much calmer weekend across much of the country in terms of the weather after those deadly tornadoes left a path of destruction in the Midwest earlier this week. We are going to go live to Ohio with a look at the damage.
And if you're a sports fan, it doesn't get any better than this time of year. The excitement is building right now toward March Madness, college basketball's holy grail, with teams trying to punch their tickets to the NCAA tournament like North Carolina.
This morning with our top story, a series of setbacks for the prosecutors in two of former President Trump's criminal trials, while his own former vice president delivered a dramatic rebuke of his old boss. NBC's Blaine Alexander has more from Atlanta. Blaine, good morning.
Well, Laura, good morning to you. As of this week,
very unlikely indeed. Blaine Alexander, the first to report the Georgia decision for NBC News. Thank you so much. You know, it strikes me, Peter, that the only case that had a firm trial date was the New York hush money case. And people have lots of feelings about whether that one should have been the first. But now that one, too, also delayed at least a month, if not more. As we heard from Blaine, the Georgia case unlikely to go. That one was always bogged down, but given the number of defendants and the scope of it, it was always just sort of a massive undertaking. And the federal cases tied up. The Supreme Court set to hear the one on election interference next month. The other one, the classified documents, that still doesn't have a trial date. So his strategy all along has been to delay and delay and delay. And so far, it's working.
Ultimately, it's going to be up to the voters to decide who the next president of the United States is.
Right.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This morning, we want to get to another headline. It's a heartbreaking scene there. Jesse Kirsch, appreciate your reporting. Thank you.
Turning to Russia now, where a second day of voting is underway in a presidential election that is expected to extend Vladimir Putin's grip on power for another 6
The very latest, and again, you can't say enough about Jose Andres and the difference he is making in a time of crisis like this. Richard, thank you.
Now to some big news this morning that could impact the cost of buying or selling a home. The nation's leading real estate group in a court settlement agreeing to pay $418 million over claims the industry's standard 6% sales commission on home sales has been artificially inflated for decades. It's being called a sea change that could reshape the entire real estate industry. NBC business correspondent Byron Chung is here with more on this. This is really interesting.
Yeah, Laura, Peter, this is big for the whole big deal, guys, for sure.
For sure. And it has a real bottom line impact. We're going to talk to you in the next half hour about another bottom line impact, taxes.
Yeah, no one wants to talk about taxes, but we need a little help on that as well. We want to get to another thing that people are going to dollars. Sounds pretty good.
I think we need an office pool of some sort, don't you?
You were in charge of that last night, but you got away with it. But
all right, well.
The next one, you're up.
Okay, I'm doing it. It's time for our first check of the forecast. For that, let's get to Angie. What do you got?
Forecast, guys.
And a happy early St. Patrick's Day to you. All green and ready.
I am ready.
Somebody's representing for us. Thank you.
I had to.
A head start. The only person not getting pinched today. Coming up, new concerns over those popular weight loss drugs and why. We're back, and Joe is with us now this morning with a look at what's coming up in Pop Start.
Yeah, so still to come, confusion in the middle.
These messages, that is the most bizarre thing. Country, we will have that in just a moment. We do begin with a serious headline, though, right now, and this is a new independent.
Questions for Boeing this morning after a plane landed in Oregon with a panel missing from its undercarriage. The United flight, a 20.
Best time of year for sports fans, college basketball, March Madness.
You have a dog in that fight?
A dog in that? Well, Northwestern was my dog. Actually, it was a cat. The Wildcats, they lost yesterday, so I have no dogs or cats left for now. We'll see if they can make the tournament. There is another headline we're talking about today.
All right, let's turn to Angie for another check of the weather. Angie, the map is looking awfully green.
It is, and you know what's in the forecast? Green beer. The lucky forecast.
All right, I feel like you're still pinching each other. I don't know what's happening here.
I was going to say, thank you, Elphaba. That's the girl from Wicked, but I digress.
Just ahead, Brian Chung is back with some timely today's money, and this morning we are talking taxes.
Cue the collective groan, but if you have not filed it, you have just under a month now to do it, so it's time to start getting that paperwork in order.
NBC's business correspondent Brian Chung is back to help maximize us out this morning. Good morning. This feels like an interrogation.
Yeah,
Brian,
I was going to say, I feel like I'm in an interview right now. Well,
no doubt. So what has changed this year from years past that people need to be aware of?
Yeah, well, look, we got the green right in advance of St. Patty's Day, but this is really important because you're going to get a lot of green for filing your taxes this year. The average refund, according to the IRS, $3,145.
Brian, what about the child tax credit? I know there were some changes a couple of years back. What's going on with that?
Yeah, so it is a little bit smaller this year compared to when it was larger in 2021. So you do get up to $2,000 per qualifying child under the current tax code. It used to be $3,000.
The earliest
Me too.
Wow.
Are you done?
Oh,
Wait,
Peter,
I know.
Peter.
Get on
I know.
it.
See?
Who are you?
So only one of us hasn't done our taxes yet.
Yeah,
All right, so for Peter, if he wants to get the refund back quickly, what are some of the ways to get it back?
Listening.
Yeah. Well, first of all, don't go with the paper check, right? So you're going to want to go with electronic filing. You can also direct file in some cases, depending on what days, 90% of the time. And if you are trying to wait for a check in the mail, then that could actually hold things up even further. So just be aware of that as well.
And a government shutdown could affect.
Well, the government shut down March 22nd. Yeah. So if you are someone that's a worry ward, maybe try to get ahead of that, Peter.
So it's time.
So, you know.
It's time.
You guys are dead to me. Who does their taxes by mid-March? That's impressive.
3 of us are done.
Yeah, well, all right, you're friends. It's all good. Brian, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
What's coming up?
We're back this morning with Pop Star Joe. What's poppin'?
A lot to get to. First up, we have actually with our Katie Prim, one of our senior producers here. This is my playbill from it, and it was really surreal because it's a show that's sort of in the round. It's very intimate. So when this happened, you actually did wonder, is this part of the show? It was one of those things where it happened a few times, and you're like, okay, I don't think this is part of the show, but it wasn't until afterward that we confirmed.
And of all the performers, Jeremy Strong, who never breaks character.
And he didn't. There was an announcement that came on over the speaker that said, actors, please leave the stage. He didn't leave the stage. He stayed on there, stayed in character the whole time.
Wow.
So, pretty surreal experience.
Definitely.
All right, finally in Pop Start, we have Emma, her third Oscar. We'll see, you never know.
That's something to look forward to.
Exactly. So they're a good team.
Yeah, no doubt. Joe, thank you so much.
All right, still to come, NFL star DeMar Hamlin.
For a teen who has a lot of struggles already in his young life.
Yeah, recently the teen who suffers from a heart condition was recognized by someone who knows all too well how that can impact your life.
NBC's Priscilla Thompson explains.
First of all, and most importantly, we're so glad to see that Zeke is thriving.
Yeah.
But DeMar Hamlin just making such a difference in using this platform now to help so many throughout this country who really benefit by that inspiration.
Yeah, and so many looking to him as an example, right?
Incredible guy.
Yeah,
Incredible indeed.
You know, we should tell you St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, but we're already getting a head start in Dublin. Take a look overseas right now. We've got a picture. The Temple Bar already blowing up on a Saturday morning. Hey, it's not 5 o'clock, it's noon somewhere, right? And they're already enjoying it.
They can go all day, I think.
And tomorrow.
That's going to do it for us on a Saturday morning.
We have a very busy week coming up. We hope you will tune in to today. Starting on Monday, Pete and I are going to be joining the team for the week.